message to the Muslim fraternity in the country.
All the Ugandan Muslim community, I have the pleasure yet again to wish you a blessed month of Ramadan. May this month remind you to continue with all good deeds by lending a helping hand to those in need, but observing the corona regulations, the SOPs. I would like to join the Muslim community in reaffirming the universal principles that bind us together as human beings: love, compassion, justice, peaceful coexistence, and mutual respect. I commend the Muslim fraternity for the good work done and maintaining good relationships with other religious denominations in building our nation. I appeal to you to pray for peace and prosperity of our nation, and I pray that at the end of the month of Ramadan, our prayers and supplications will be granted and rewarded. As I've said already, I remind you to observe the COVID-19 standard operational procedures, which has been put in place by the government through the Ministry of Health. We have been through the corona for now more than a year. On account of the strict measures we took, we have minimized death. I think up to now, about 337 Ugandans have died, including prominent people. However, in other countries, you know what has happened. Many more people have died. So please, even in this Ramadan, don't relax your guard. Don't gather too many of you, because God is in all places. You can pray in the house, you can pray in the mosque, but a few of you, the issue is don't congregate. Don't congregate. This is the medicine. This is apart from the putting on the masks and so on and sanitizing your hands. But don't congregate. Observe Ramadan, but please avoid congregating beyond the minimum number recommended by the Ministry of Health. I thank you and I wish you a happy fasting season, Ramadan month. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, President Yoweri Museveni has met with the Kenyan delegation led by the Cabinet Secretary for Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development, Betty Maina, at State House Entebbe. Among issues discussed included trade relations in light of recent developments like the ban on some Ugandan exports. President Museveni told his guests that competition has been generated by the fact that East Africans are trading in a common market, highlighting that the ultimate logic of the East African community integration should be allowing efficiency and eliminating the irregularities with strategic analysis, not endless fights. The president noted that the meetings between the countries had reached a clear conclusion regarding the next course of action. The Kenyan delegation also delivered a special message to the head of state from their president Uhuru Kenyatta.
He was in the Kenyatta for their foods and crop regulations. We are going to share them.
Now, the budget that's the Uganda Premier Katikkiro Owekitiibwa Charles Peter Mayiga has urged Ugandans to join the fight against HIV and AIDS and COVID-19 in order to have a healthy country and a people. The call has been made by the Katikiro during the celebration of Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II's 66th birthday at Bulange Mengo, held under the theme Youth Tech Lead in the Fight Against HIV and AIDS. The Kabaka was born on the 13th of April in 1955 at Mulago Hospital.
At 11 a.m., the Kabaka of Uganda, Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II, appeared before his subjects to kickstart celebrations to mark his 66th birthday. Before heading to the celebration venue, he received gifts from his subjects.
Naega na makulu agajja kunnyamba okutambula okugenda mu bifo ebyo n'okusinga n'abantu baffe abalina obwetaavu, abalina okuyigirizibwa, abalina okuyiga enjiri ey'omulembe guno.
Engalo bene ngasala
tulina essanyu lya nsusso olwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka waffe okuweza emyaka 66.
Under the theme of ending HIV and AIDS, the Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, told the gathering that Kabaka's objective is to have HIV/AIDS eradicated from Uganda and other East African countries by 2030.
Twalwanyisaako obulwadde obw'okutonnya fistula, ne tulwanyisa obulwadde obwa nnalubiri sickle cell, ate kati tuli ku bwa mukenenya. Kyokka olw'okubalukawo kw'ekirwadde ekya COVID-19, Kabaka yasiima n'ekirwadde kino tukikolere kaweefube, tukirwanyise kubanga nakyo kya bulabe nnyo eri abantu be.
Due to COVID-19 pandemic, celebrations were attended by few people allowed at the kingdom to celebrate with the king. The Katikiro urged the public to take the COVID-19 vaccine and disregard any misleading information related to it.
Mukama wange Ssaabasajja Kabaka, olunaku lwajjo bwe bankubye akayiso ne ŋŋamba abantu bo abatidde nti abazungu baagala kututta kutumalawo. Lwaki tebatutta nga bakozesa eddagala erisenya amannyo? Waliwo eritakolebwa beeru? Kampuni zonna ze mulaba ezo Colgate, Close Up, zonna za beeru. Tumukozesa ekiro nga tugenda okwebaka, tumukozesa nga tuzuukuse. Era banaalinda ssenyiga korona balyoke batutte. Wana abantu bayitirivu baakedde kumira Panado. Panado oyo abamukola ba kampuni za beeru tewaliyo n'emu eyaffe bweti. Abaakoze eddagala liri be bakola ne Panado banaalinda ssenyiga korona. Lwaki tebabattira mu Panado? Awo nno tubeerenga ab'omulembe omutebi, tukole ebijja mu mulembe omutebi.
The Vice President of Uganda, His Excellency Edward Kwanuka II, thanked Kabaka Mutebi for guiding and uniting his subjects and the good relations with the government.
Ssaabasajja weebale nnyo okufaayo ennyo okulaba nti abantu baba balamu nga kino kirabikira bulungi mu ngeri gyewagira entegeka y'ebyobulamu z'obulamu byonna. Ayi bene weebale okunyweza obumu bwa Buganda ate n'enkolagana ennungi n'okugatta abantu ba Buganda mu Uganda ey'awamu.
At the same event, the Kabaka, who preferred not to address the kingdom, awarded 5 people with a precious stone for their outstanding work towards the development of kingdom and country at large. They included renowned traditional musician and dancer Annette Nanduja, Dr. Haji Ibrahim Mwanga Kibirige, former Chadondo County Chief Tofiri Kivumbi Mali Okweza, Mengo Hospital dentist Dr. Ken Chapman Chigozi, and Swick Insurance proprietor Dr. William Chiwanuka. Bernard Yiga, UBC News.
Now, the Prime Minister, Dr. Rhoda, has refuted claims that he plans to retire. His clarification follows social media reports that he wrote a letter to the head of state asking to be relieved of his prime ministerial duties. He was speaking to journalists at Parliament shortly after presenting a statement on the floor about the issue of lifting curfew.
Prior to becoming Prime Minister in 2014, Dr. Rhoda had served in various ministerial dockets, including Internal Affairs and Health, among others.
I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda.
It is this passion for national service that has kept him strong all these years.
Revolutionaries have a responsibility to advance their revolution, to serve the population. And my role is to make a contribution in the service of the people of Uganda, in service of Africa, and I'm making that contribution.
In this commitment to serve the country, overcoming challenges has also been part of his national service menu. It is for this reason that he refutes claims of writing to the president asking to retire.
Those are lies. I have not written to His Excellency the President or talked to him about that. Take it that is a fabrication, a concoction by some people, and they put it in social media.
Describing social media reports as unfounded, Rhoda commits to serving the country to the best of his ability.
Our view is that we are serving the people of Uganda, and we serve them as and when we have the energy. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have immediate plans for stopping work, because I believe that I'm able to work.
Dr. Rhoda became Prime Minister in 2014, replacing John Patrick Amama Mbabazi. He has served in this capacity since then, with several achievements registered, something he looks forward to consolidating. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Government is set to amend the Registration of Persons Act to provide for mandatory registration of all births and deaths. The requirement for the amendment was revealed by the State Minister for Internal Affairs, Obiga Kania. He was appearing before the Committee on Defense while presenting the ministerial policy statement. Our reporter has more.
Why? Because you will need things like letters of administration. You need to know your ancestry. All this should be documented. Then you need birth certificates, birth registration, so that your identity begins from the time you are born.
The Registration of Persons Act 2015 provides for registration of every birth and registration of every death by guardian or relative for planning purposes by the government. Although the Act provides for registration, quite a number of people have been considering registration of their deceased relatives during property sharing. With the government move to amend the Registration of Persons Act 2015, registration of birth and death is going to be compulsory for all nationals. The revelation to amend the Act was made by the State Minister for Internal Affairs, Obiga Kania, while appearing before the Committee on Defense to present the ministerial statement.
So what we are going to do is propose that we amend the Registration of Persons Act to include some compulsory provisions. And we may do this sooner than later. To compel people, we will be proposing to make these registrations compulsory.
According to Minister Kania, the compulsory registration will ease government efforts in planning for its citizens. However, at the moment, there are gaps within the Act, that need to be amended.
We've had an experiment of now about coming to about 10 years of registration of people. I think we've now a position where we think we can make it compulsory, where people should respond. Register death. It's very important.
It would be prudent indeed, like the minister was saying. I don't know whether it should even be amendment of the act, but I think he should issue regulations that should guide the leadership and the population to ensure that they are strict about registration of births and deaths, so that we have a solid data bank in as far as our demographic figures are concerned to enable government to plan for the people.
On a similar note, Ministry of Internal Affairs has presented a budget of 25 billion for the transfer of National Identification and Registration Authority from its present premises at Kololo Independence Grounds.
We think NIRA being so vital should shift to a neutral place, an open place which can be easily accessible to people, so that the activities are not interfered by national services, and they give due respect to Kololo as a national ceremonial center.
Members of the committee tasked officials from NIRA to explain why the system is too slow and not reliable following several complaints. Apparently, NIRA remains subject of controversy over unreliable system of acquiring and replacement of national IDs. Susan Naong and Gloria Guitabinji reporting for ABC TV.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details. This is News Tonight.
No one should stop you from finishing what's yours. That's why MTN gives you data bundles that don't expire. Load MTN Freedom Bundles using My MTN app and enjoy the freedom to finish your data bundles. MTN.
Today tastes like a new tradition, like an old favorite. Tastes like all hands on deck and all eyes on the prize. Today tastes like a piece of the action. And it never tasted this good.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Do business with Airtel. Register today as an authorized Airtel SIM selling agent free of charge. All you need to do is submit a business name and a passport-size photograph of the owner, a passport-size photograph of the handler, if applicable, a copy of a valid national ID of the owner, a copy of a valid national ID of the handler, if applicable, an LC or police letter confirming physical residential address of the owner, a certificate of incorporation or certificate of registration, a company TIN issued by URA, if applicable, a certified copy of the form showing the registration location or place of business of the company, Form 18, if applicable, a valid trading license, and an LC or police letter confirming the physical location of the business premises. Business premises should be a brick-and-mortar building. Verification of the submitted documents will take a maximum of 3 working days, still free of charge. Upon meeting all requirements, Airtel will provide training and customized branding material for your business location, still free of charge. You will be given a fingerprint scanner and a phone to enable customer SIM card registration, also free of charge. For registration inquiries, call us today on 100. Press 2 to know more. Airtel, the smartphone network. Airtel is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
That's their way of stopping HIV. What about you?
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Now, there won't be a momentous occasion to officially mark the signing of the long-awaited and much talked about final investment decision in the oil and gas sector. According to Dr. Goretti Tutu, the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, the recent signing of the 3 key agreements has already ushered the country into the downstream phase of the oil and gas sector. This was disclosed at a stakeholder engagement with the media in Kampala.
The signing of the key agreements at State House in Entebbe on 11th April marked the launch of Uganda's oil and gas project and also paved way for the East African Crude Oil Pipeline Company to award the main engineering, procurement and construction contracts. According to the Minister of Energy, the much-anticipated phase in the oil production has been kick-started, hence there won't be a special day designated for the signing of the final investment decision.
The conclusion of these key agreements for the ECOP is a major requirement for the announcement of the final investment decision, abbreviated as FID. It is important to appreciate that there is no document that will be signed for or called FID. The project launched on Sunday, 11th April 2021 at State House in Entebbe is a demonstration of the commitment the respective governments and oil companies have for the projects.
Government and the joint venture partners estimate that the first oil will be within 4 years, with the actual construction of the East African crude oil pipeline to start later this year.
The question of schedule, which one is ECOP first or the upstream first? I think they go hand in glove. All the projects go hand in glove. There's Kingfisher, Tilenga and ECOP. They all need to start at the same time and they all need to complete at the same time, because the oil, the whole objective overall is that the oil will flow from the wells in Kingfisher and Tilenga through ECOP pipeline and be sent to world markets from the port of Tanzania, Tanga in Tanzania. So the whole system is interconnected and the construction needs to reflect that.
Ugandan companies are expected to gain capabilities to provide technical services that have hitherto been a reserve of the more experienced foreign companies.
We are moving to conclude all these other processes of awarding contracts, of making sure that everybody is compensated, and then we proceed. And we think we will start construction this year.
Employment of Ugandans. This will be through direct employment of about 14,000 people by the company. also indirect employment of about 45,000 people by the contractors, and induced employment of about 105,000 people as a result of utilization of other services by the oil and gas sector.
Government of Uganda has committed to ensuring that processes leading to fast oil bring enhanced economic benefits for the country while maintaining a good return on investment for the investors.
The recently signed agreements between Uganda, Tanzania and the joint venture partners are a commitment from both governments and the oil companies that work on ground is about to start. And with this lies plenty of employment and investment opportunities for both Uganda's public and the business community. Charlotte Amuge for UBC News in Kampala.
And now sports. After a long wait, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics are now just 100 days away. Uganda has joined the party with the launch of a countdown ahead of the games, at which the country is ably represented.
Today tastes like a new tradition, like an old favorite. Tastes like all hands on deck and all eyes on the prize. Today tastes like a piece of the action. And it never tasted this good.
Kulana ne Airtel Money leero okusaba okufuuka agent wamu n'okwewandiisa byabwerere bino wammanga bye weetaaga okugwayo ebbaluwa oba certificate kwe weewandiisiza statement erimu byonna ebikwata ku badirector obufaananyi bw'abadirector certificate ya tin n'obuzito bwa bizinensi yo tujja kukutegeeza ku kusabako mu bbanga lya nnaku 5 ez'okukola era nga tukikola ku bwereere singa okusaba okufuuka agent kuyitamu Airtel ejja kukusomesa ate erekuwa byonna ebikozesebwa okutimba ekifo kya bizinensi yo nga biri mu langi za Airtel entongole awatali kusasula yadde 10 okusobola okwewandiisa tukubireko olwaleero ku M26 etali ya kusasulira Airtel Money nyangu ya buliwo ate yeesigika Airtel, the smartphone network elungamizibwa Uganda Communications Commission.
Introducing Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School, located in Chebando, Chisalo-Salo, along Bukoto Roundabout, 2 kilometers from Kalere at the Northern Bypass on your way to Chisasi. This is a world-class standard school with the most qualified teachers that will turn your child into a world changer. We have a fully stocked library, a balanced diet for the children, a calm environment suitable for learning, and pocket-friendly school fees. Registration for P1 to P6 is ongoing, and second term is starting on 6th April 2021. Call us on 0774 861-262 for more information. Cleveland Hill Day and Boarding Primary School. The Lord is my shepherd.
Experience 100% 4G speeds across Uganda with the Airtel 4G Pocket Wi-Fi available at 123,000 shillings only. It comes with a backup battery and 15 GB free for 1 month. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, device selling shop or Airtel online shop. www.airtel.co.ug/broadband-discover. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The sports talk of town in the sports circles locally is about Cranes captain Dennis Onyango hanging his national boots and the upcoming FIFA presidential elections. Mujib Kasule is back to challenge incumbent FIFA president Moses Magago, while others have mixed reactions over Onyango's retirement.
The retirement of Cranes captain Dennis Onyango hit social media Monday evening. To many, they believed Onyango still had some years of football action left in him, donning his famous jersey 18 for the Cranes. Players like Joseph Ochaya, Alan Okello and the local football body congratulated Onyango upon his achievements. The Mamelodi Sundowns shortstopper had a 16-year football career with Uganda Cranes, competing at 2 African Cup of Nations.
Onyango taritayarinze. Waso Hassan taritayarinze. Naba abalala abanavaayo embeera ebafosinze okuva mu mupiira. Omupiira gubagoba muki mu mupiira. Naye gwani afosinga Onyango okuva mu mupiira.
Meanwhile, the director Pro NFC and ex-Uganda Cranes player Mujib Kasule has joined the race for first top job. While declaring his candidacy, Mujib promised to lead the struggle to reclaim Uganda's football glory. Mujib explained that he has enough experience to lead the football governing body, the Federation of Uganda Football Association FIFA, having served as vice president in the same federation and club administrator.
The players own the game, whether current or past. But now FIFA is arresting and jailing players, taking them to prison, fighting, doing everything they should.
Article 39 of the FIFA statute provides that for one to stand for the position of FIFA president, he must be between 31 and 69 years of age and must have served football for at least 7 years. In his manifesto, Mujib pledges to prioritize the domestic league, saying it's more important to develop players and should be allocated more resources.
Well, that does it for now. We do return at 10 o'clock with more details. Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Do stick around.